What about coach of the year?
Oh, coach of the year. That's a tough one. I'm gonna let you lead on this one while I think about it.
Okay. I think I'm gonna surprise some people with this one, but I think it's gonna be Kyle Shanahan. I think for whatever reason, like the perception around this team is that Kyle doesn't know what he's doing. And he's this like national people that don't watch the team very much, don't understand Kyle moving on from Jimmy to Trey. They think it's a really risky move. It's obviously the right move. It's going to work out, I think. And everyone's going to be like, wow, he's a genius. How did we not see this? It's like, well, you don't really watch the Niners. So I think, he's really lowering the bar. He's letting people lower their expectations for this team. And then when they're, the same Niners as last year, winning most of their games without throwing very much, people are going to be like, wow, Kyle's a freaking genius. He did it again. But it's like, yeah, I mean, I think if you were paying attention, you could probably see that. I mean, Trey Lance, when Lance was on the field last year, the Niners offense averaged 6.4 yards per play. That would have led the league by far. No, the top team in the league with 6.1. It's the evidence is there. People don't want to see it. This offense is going to be really explosive, even if they run the ball most of the time. And people are just going to be so surprised when the Niners have a winning record with this kid who hasn't played much, all that. And Kyle's going to get a ton of credit for having him ready and all this stuff. That's what I think.
Yeah, I can see it definitely being Kyle Shanahan. I mean,
that's another guy people want to give flowers to. I mean, it's been a while. Everyone calls him the best coach in the league, but he has a losing record. This is going to be his year where they're like, okay, he's matured.
Yeah, I think I can see it happening. I think the counter argument to that would be his team is so good. I think you may hear people coming back at that because the roster is so good that he doesn't really have to do much. But I think that's incorrect. And I think part of the argument for Kyle Shanahan being coach of the year, the fact that he did go to Trey Lance, and if Trey Lance ends up being the guy that I think he will be and have the year that I think he can have this year, then that does speak highly on Coach Kyle Shanahan. And if they do have the rushing game that we think they're going to have, and they lead the league in rushing, that also works in Kyle Shanahan's favor. Typically for me, a coach of the year is somebody that takes a team that wasn't expected to do well, and then they do really well. So I don't know what team that's going to be. So it's hard to predict. But with the 49ers, everyone kind of thinks they're going to do well. So I can see the argument.
I feel like there's two sides of that. There's a lot of people that are like, I don't know, Lance is going to get benched by week 7, and then they're going to do, you know what I mean? There's a lot of that too.
Yeah, that's true. And so he could upset them. I think it was ESPN that had them ranked 3rd in the NFL, but then Bleacher Report has them ranked 15th. Okay. So the rankings are all over the place. But again, if Trey Lance ends up doing really well, Kyle Shanahan is going to get the credit for 1, picking Trey Lance. For 2, they'll say he benefited from sitting last year while Jimmy showed him how to play quarterback, right? And then he'll get the benefit of starting Trey Lance this year. So I think Kyle getting coach of the year is going to depend highly on what happens with Trey Lance. But I think it's definitely possible.
You know who's not going to get it this year, I don't think? Bill Belichick. What they're doing over there with their offensive staff, Matt Patricia, I think Mac Jones is going to have a sophomore slump. I'm just saying.